She said, see, we've been told that a girl's life is harder than a boy's life because, first of all, girls must learn to do laundry, the dishes, house cleaning, cooking, changing diapers. And on the other hand, boys must learn to put on a tie and do business and provide for the family. And she told this to my husband, and my husband was like, I don't think my wife ever got that memo. Have you met? One of the biggest compliments, honestly, Will's ever given me. Well, he gives me compliments like that all the time, but he's just stating the facts. And we're going to talk about that today on Pretty Rich Podcast. Welcome to Pretty Rich Podcast, where you're totally the heroine of your own story. I'm your host, Sheila Bella, and I've built a 7-figure PMU beauty biz and a 7-figure online biz without a degree, without a fancy website, or a sugar daddy. And if you and I hang out on here long enough, you're going to start to believe that you can do it too. How about that for a side effect of listening to this podcast? Because you really can. I know you think I don't know you, I have no idea who you are, but I do. I really, really do, because I am you. I was you. And I believe we are all on the same journey together. My perfect job didn't exist, so I created it. The job I wanted wasn't hiring me, wanted nothing to do with me. So I skipped the line and hired myself as CEO, just like you can. So consider me your secret beauty biz BFF, in case you need to be reminded on a weekly basis that power is never just handed to you. You have to take it. Are you ready, beauty boss? Let's jump in. Welcome, everybody, to Pretty Rich Podcast. I am your host, Sheila Bella, the real Sheila Bella on Instagram. Guys, quick life update, because I know we're so connected on this podcast. I am truthfully dealing with a lot right now, between having a 6-week-old baby, having my virtual event, the Pretty Ambitious Summit, happening in 2 weeks. It's truly a dream come true. It is the very first beauty entrepreneurship event that is focused on business strategy, inspiration, and girl power. And it's the first event that I've seen of its kind. And I'm really excited for it. I'm so excited to deliver that. We are also almost done building our home, our new home. And I'm sure everybody's going through this, but listen, it is flu season. It's been COVID season for the past year and a half, almost 2 years. It's crazy. And there were 2 RSV diagnoses in my son's preschool, in his classroom, my 4-year-old. And I have a very small baby at home. And I gotta be honest with you, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Should I pull him out for a little while? I mean, if I do, how long is that really going to last? I mean, we're just going into the winter months now. So, that is probably going to get worse. Like the flus and, just viruses are probably going to amp up as things get colder here in Los Angeles. So, I mean, it's a lot. And I'm sure a lot of you moms can relate to, living in this pandemic world and not knowing what to do. There's a lot of things going on. Like, should we wear masks? No masks? Should we let the kids do that? I mean, now they're eating without masks on. So what's the point? And so you have to worry about their development. And then we have aging parents that have underlying conditions and comorbidities and who are more at risk. It's just a really confusing, scary time to be in charge of tiny humans. Oh my gosh. If you guys can relate, please text me about it. My phone number is 310-388-4588. And yeah, let's have a conversation because I know that I'm not alone. And this is all so confusing, and, perhaps having a community to lean into might be very comforting. Okay. No answers, just be confused together. But aside from that, I also feel super blessed. I feel really blessed. My marriage is better than ever. I don't know when was the last time I said that. Obviously, like Will and I go through ups and downs, but it's real. It feels that way right now. It's just better than ever. I guess it keeps getting better. I didn't know there was a next level, but it truly feels that way. I feel very strong and healthy now that I'm not pregnant. I can breathe. I've started to work out. I've already lost like something insane, like 30 pounds or something like that. Yeah, about 30 pounds. Counting the baby, amniotic fluid, my placenta, et cetera, et cetera. I'm talking about from the day I gave birth 6 weeks ago. I've lost 30 pounds. Right. And, my kids are thriving and they're just so freaking adorable. They're need machines, but they're just so adorable where you're like, oh my gosh, is this real? Am I in a movie? And business is doing great. My team is tight, so tight. The relationships in my team are just so incredibly inspiring. And, I am just so proud of the leaders at Pretty Rich Bosses for everything they've been able to do and for the success that we're able to give these students. I mean, we pump out testimonials every Thursday, and it's always hard to choose which testimonial do we post, because there are so many amazing ones. And by the way, if you don't know what Pretty Rich Bosses is, it is my online mentorship program, which I believe in truly, and it's my life. It is a mentorship program that I built with the help of my team because we realized that there were a lot of beauty entrepreneurs who were still playing it small. I mean, they listen to this podcast, they ingest my content, and they say, thank you, Sheila, for inspiring me. But for some reason, it still wasn't enough to get them to that next level. And the problem that I found was that a lot of beauty entrepreneurs just get stuck doing service after service after service for years and years and years, just like perhaps the woman that taught them the craft that had also been doing it for several years. And I was able to scale a permanent makeup business and into the multiple 7 figures without me having to work. And I was like, what? I was surprised actually at how rare it was that women were able to do this in the industry, how it wasn't like a given path, scaling the service, scaling beauty. And so that's why I built Pretty Rich Bosses, to give women a roadmap on how to build a life and a business that they don't need an escape from, that they love, that work for them instead of working them into the ground, into not having a life actually.
Hey, question for you. How much money do you think you've spent in total on permanent makeup training, lash training, the trainings that improved your craft? Easily thousands of dollars by now. My next question is, did any of those trainings teach you how to make money? Probably not. You may be an amazing artist, but they can't pay you for your talent if they don't even know you exist. Having a solid business structure is essential to a successful beauty business. And if your goal is to get more clients, more students, and more customers in your business this year, then Pretty Rich Bosses is the mentorship program for you. Pretty Rich Bosses is my mentorship program that combines one-on-one personalized coaching with the magic of group coaching and community to teach you everything you need to have a successful beauty business. This isn't a one-size-fits-all program. This is a relationship. And as somebody who has built 2 multi-million-dollar beauty businesses, getting you to your goal is not going to be rocket science for us. We can help. This is the sales education you never got. Great art alone isn't going to give you a successful beauty business. It's not going to give you the life of your dreams. It's a combination of art and a great business and marketing structure. So what are you waiting for? If you are 80% sure that Pretty Rich Bosses is the program for you, it's the only thing you haven't done yet, why don't you go ahead and book a complimentary strategy call with either myself or any one of my advisors. And all you need to do is go to sheilabella.com/apply. That's sheilabella.com/apply. Accelerate your success. Get there faster. And let's do it together.
So I want to chat with you guys about the idea, okay, that women are disadvantaged in this world because we are women. Yes, there are disadvantages and there are also advantages to being a woman. You know why? Because they don't see you coming. I like that. I like it better when they don't see you coming, right? And as I said, my friend talked to my husband about how, the message in society is women need to cook and clean. Yeah. And my husband's like, my wife never got that memo. I don't think so. Have you met her? Okay. And I thought about it, and the times in my life where I've forgotten my gender, forgotten that I was an immigrant, and just forgotten that I wasn't a college graduate, and just kind of went for it, were the times where I experienced the highest success rate. Because getting wealthy, we're just talking about getting wealthy, you guys. Getting wealthy isn't a gender. It's not a level of education. It's not your skin color. It's a skill set. Granted, obviously, some people are going to be more advantaged than others and vice versa. But let's stay focused here. Getting wealthy is a skill set. I know rich men and rich women. I know poor men and poor women. It's all about your result. Can you bring about the result? If you can help somebody make money and generate more wealth, do they care? Do they care? They shouldn't. And if they do, they're limiting themselves. Okay. So I think the most important thing is your inner dialogue, your self-esteem, because critics are everywhere. It's inevitable. It's inevitable. You're going to get knocked down and get all these messages from society and from people. But the most important thing is your inner dialogue. It's your recovery time. If your inner dialogue is healthy, and this is something that you have to mindfully do every day. If your inner dialogue is healthy, you're untouchable. For example, when I'm unmotivated, I don't call myself lazy. Not anymore. When I'm not making progress as quickly as I want to, I don't say I'm doomed. That's it. I'm doomed. I look for ways to encourage myself and build myself back up. When I make a mistake, I don't dwell on the mistake like I used to. I quickly look for ways to learn from it and fix it. I call myself a badass every day. I call myself a winner. I call myself the fucking best. Okay. And listen, I think that we get enough negative messages from the world, from our critics, especially if you know that you've been hyper aware of the negative voices in your mind. I think it's perfectly okay to encourage yourself to that degree. Obviously, I'm not the best, the absolute best. There's always going to be somebody better. But I mean, that's literally how I talk to myself, especially when I need encouragement. And at the same time, like I said, I own my own shit. Like when I mess up or when something goes wrong in my company, I take the heat for that. I take the heat. I call myself not out, but up. Same way I do with my team. I call them up. I could have done something to prevent this, I'm sure. Figure out what that is and learn from it. And at the same time, I tell myself I have a growth mindset, and that is what sets me apart. If something goes wrong, it is working for me and not against me. I pride myself not on winning every single time. The reason why I think I'm the best is because I have a growth mindset. Because when I make a mistake, my recovery time is fast. Like if I lose big on a sale, okay? Or something like a client or something like that, right? I look at it and I think, what could I have done better? I don't beat myself up. I see it actually. Say something goes wrong that I couldn't control. I see it as part of the equation. Okay? When people don't like me, which happens all the time, I might have some haters listening right now. You're obsessed. I don't know what's wrong with you. You're a fan. You're a fan. If you're still listening, we're halfway through the episode. We're almost at the end, actually. And you're still listening. Wow. You're not a hater. You're a confused fan. So when I see people who don't like me, it's just part of the math. And that's the way you got to see it. You will never have a 100% winning streak. It's not about the number of times that you win anymore. I think most people stay down because they're too scared to even throw as many darts as I do. Really, what it boils down to is, are you willing to fail and be hated and be criticized? And how many times are you willing to fail? And are you going to sustain a healthy and positive inner dialogue as you watch yourself fail over and over and over again? That's really all the secret is. There is no secret. That's the secret. You just can't give up. You just gotta keep taking shots. Okay? Do you really know in your bones that you are a bona fide winner? And are you not going to stop until that is the truth? Are you not going to let up until how you describe yourself to yourself becomes the truth? Your internal dialogue is one of the most important tools you need for achieving anything great. So, before we get into the mechanics of how to build a successful business, you need to build a success-worthy inner dialogue. Because your self-esteem is literally the most powerful tool you can have in this life. Your self-esteem is the ultimate currency. That's it for today on Pretty Rich Podcast. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Till next time. Hey, thanks so much for listening to today's episode of Pretty Rich Podcast. If you want to continue the conversation longer, check me out on Instagram. It's my favorite place to connect with you guys at Real Sheila Bella. I'm happy to answer any of your questions or simply to chat and get to know you better. And if you end up doing something super awesome like screenshotting this episode and reposting it on your stories, that would put the biggest smile on my face. Don't forget to tag me. I appreciate every share and love feedback from my listeners. Also, do you have my number? Because if we're going to keep hanging out, you should probably have my number. So you can actually text me. That's right. You can text me at 341-388-4588. And if you're sick and tired of doing business alone and you're interested in accelerating your success by hiring a business coach or joining our mentorship program called Pretty Rich Bosses, go ahead and just apply. Why not? Check it out. Go to sheilabella.com/apply. And we'll schedule a free strategy session with either myself or one of my advisors. And of course, I gotta include my kids. So here to send us off are Bo and Gray. Gray, say share with your friends.
Share with friends.
Please review my mommy on iTunes.
Mama iTunes.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Hey, Bo, can you tell everybody what our family motto is?
Yeah. I can do hard things.
I can do hard things. Good job, buddy.